Hello everybody and welcome to the Wellsy Weekly Podcast, the show where I talk about anything and everything. My name is John, aka Wellsy, and today I want to talk about takeaways because I'm rather hungry, to be honest. And takeaways are one of those things where it's bad, but you get them anyway because you really can't be bothered to cook and it's been a long day, and in my case I've eaten takeaways 3 days in a row and all I know is that's really bad. So today's question is, what is the best kind of takeaway? Let me know down in the comments below, or if you've come from Facebook, let me know on there as well. And let's kick things off with pizza, because I'm a bit of a connoisseur, if you will, because I really like pizza. And it's got to be a thin crust, it's got to have a tomato base, maybe I'll have some mozzarella if I'm feeling rather saucy or adventurous with it. But no, you don't get that from a takeaway pizza, do you? No, it's like the really greasy kind. And I'm talking like Domino's pizza kind of greasy. And that's great and all, but sometimes I just can't eat a lot of pizza, especially from Domino's, purely because of how much grease is from it. I don't know if it's just because of the ingredients they use or the way they cook it. Maybe it's the oils. I don't know what it is, but there's always just some of that. Just as soon as you fold the pizza up and try and eat it, it just dribbles with that orange grease. Ugh, it's nasty. I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial, but I actually prefer Pizza Hut over Domino's, which is a shame because, the university is sponsored by Domino's, so we get discounts from there. We usually get there a lot. But I quite like Pizza Hut, it's a thin crust. It's maybe a little crispier than Domino's, not as soggy, but I prefer it a lot more. And a lot of people disagree with me there, but if you... so please don't have a go at me in the comments. I'd appreciate that. Oh, and there's this other takeaway place called TKs Pizza. Oh, the pizzas though, they're average, but you cannot complain at the prices. So get this right, you can get a 16-inch margarita pizza for a tenner. It's amazing. I mean, the pizza isn't that good. You're only getting what you pay for, but my god, 16 inches, it's amazing. It's such a big pizza. And moving on from that, the next thing is a Chinese takeaway. And Chinese is right, they're really good. Everybody likes a Chinese. I mean, it's not like traditional Chinese food, but it's a British Chinese takeaway, right? I'll go for a very basic thing. So I'll always get, if I'm at home, I'll always get something called gotta chicken, which is like this, chicken breast that's battered, and then that's covered in some kind of gotta sauce. I don't know what it is, but it tastes really nice. It's like a dark soya sauce essentially, if that makes any sense. And I'll get that with egg fried rice because you can't not get egg fried rice. And then if I'm up at uni, I quite like this one place that did salt and pepper chips, which were amazing, right? Sometimes they did onions, sometimes they didn't. I wasn't really fussed about the onions, but they were really nice, and I really quite liked them. I can't find them anywhere else. See, because Chinese food, I always find I like something on the menu, but then it's not in any other Chinese. It's not like an overall or a nationwide thing that I like. So I'm not too fussed about the curries or anything like that, and I won't usually get noodles because I'm not a big fan of noodles. But yeah, Chinese are a weird one for me. Yeah. And finally, there is a chippy. Now, chippies are great and all, but I feel like you can only get a chippy when you're at the seaside, right? Well, that's how I picture it anyway, because I've just got fond memories of having fish and chips at Filey Brig, just eating on top of a brig, and it's great fun, It's also a bit greasy as well, so you can't have it a lot of the time. Not like pizza, well, not Domino's pizza anyway. It's like Chinese you can get away with having a bit more of. Pizza, sometimes you can get away with, but Chippies are always greasy, and it's always the chips. I feel like Chippies, you've got to be in the right mood to have. It's not one of those things where if somebody mentions it, you're just like, ooh, yeah, let's get it, or like a Chinese. It's more like it's Saturday, I'm not feeling a chippy on a Saturday. But yeah, those are my options, or my main choices for a takeaway. If you have any comments, let me know down below, or if you've come from Facebook, let me know on there as well. Now, it's that time again in the podcast where I tell you about my shenanigans. And have a story about food, especially a certain kebab in Bristol. Let me explain. So, I went down south to visit my friend who's at Bristol University. Me and the rest of the wild boys, because that's what we call ourselves, we went down, and it was great fun. And I think I've told on one of the podcasts before about how I couldn't find a Corona in this town, because for the love of God, no one sells Corona in Bristol. You know what else they don't sell? They don't sell kebabs. Oh yeah, that's right. Now, I don't know if it was just me and the people that I was hanging out with, because my friend is a vegan, so she's maybe not known so maybe she doesn't know where the kebabs live. But I don't care, I wanted a kebab. Because earlier that day, she'd taken us to a bar, or like a open mic night, and she says it's usually jazz, and I was like, oh yeah, I can get behind a bit of jazz on a Friday night, you know. So we go to this place, and let me tell you, it wasn't jazz that they were playing. Oh, no. They were female Scottish rappers. Now, I've got nothing against rapping, I just can't understand it. Put a broad Scottish accent on there, I really can't understand it. Also, one of them was dressed like a minion, which really confused me a little bit, but that's fine. Anyway, and they started singing, and for the first minute, it was absolutely fine. You know, go them, you know. I was like, alright, this could be alright. It's not jazz, but it could be alright. And then after a minute, I realised something. Me and my friends realised something. They're not just any female Scottish rappers. Oh no. They are feminist female Scottish rappers. So I can't tell you what they said on this podcast, otherwise I'll get demonetised. But what I can say is that I only understood a few words, and those words were very biased in their opinions towards men. And we shall leave it at that. So anyway, after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we leave this place because we can't get behind a bit of female Scottish rapping on a Friday night. And this is a bad day, so I haven't got any corona. I've just listened to some feminist female Scottish rappers when I should have been listening to jazz. I was like, do you know what could save this day? A kebab. So I asked my friend, where's the nearest kebab shop? She's like, I don't know, but I can take you to a Turkish restaurant. I was like, Turkish restaurant? Sounds intriguing. I'm in. So then we end up in a Turkish restaurant that does takeaway as well, oddly enough. But it's a really fancy place, right? It's a really fancy place. And they don't sell kebabs. I don't know why. Because they're Turkish. They should be selling kebabs of some variety. But they didn't. Do you know what they were selling though? They were selling halloumi fries. Who the hell sells halloumi fries? So, after this night of just pure disappointment, I'm sat there eating my halloumi fries, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the weirdest night ever. And the worst part about it? I didn't get a kebab in the end. It was a very, very sad night. So sad, in fact, I don't know if I can tell you this next story, but I'm gonna because I need to beef up the time in this video. So, it's about little me, and how we went on holiday to the Peak Districts 1 year. I want to say I was about 9, 10-ish. And we go to a log cabin in the Peak Districts. So me, my dad, my older sister and my stepmum. And everything's fine. And one day my dad's like, alright, go play in the fields, go frolic in the fields or whatever. And me and my sister do. But I take a bag of crisps with me because I'm hungry. And if you're wondering what flavour, cheese and onion. So we go around looking in the fields in the Peak Districts. And we eventually come across a lamb and a sheep. And my sister dares me to feed the lamb. Now, I was a little wary because it's my crisps, I don't want to share. But she also dared me to, and I don't like to, you know, not do what she's told me to do. So, I did it. I fed the lamb crisps, and my god, this lamb loved it, right? Absolutely loved them, devoured my crisps. And then it got very angry when the crisps ran out. So, what can you do in this situation? Well, we just try and walk away. The lamb, though, was having none of it. Oh, no. It jumped over the fence. And it started to chase us. And the best way I can describe it is, do you know that song where it goes, that one? I imagine that was playing as you saw me running across a field, being chased by a lamb. So yeah, that's an interesting story. Well, it depends who you're asking. I thought it was terrifying at the time. Anyway, all over a bag of crisps as well. Well, very, very confusing. But anyway, I didn't get eaten by the lamb, so that's good. And with that said, I think it's time to wrap up today's episode. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, let me know down in the comments below. And if you've come from Facebook, you can drop us a message on there as well. But thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed. And as always, enjoy a cuppa.